Okay. So what we are going to start today is right triangle trigonometry.
Trigonometry?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They shorten it to trig. Okay. So the biggest thing with right triangle trig is you must have a right angle. Okay. So if you notice, this triangle has a right angle. Yes, we will get there. Okay. We now have special sides according to this right triangle. What do we always call the side that is directly across from your right angle? This is your hypotenuse.
And then the other two are your legs.
It is, but they're going to have special names now.
What? Hypotenuse, hypotenuse.
Okay, so with Pythagorean theorem, we talked about how the fact that the other two sides are called your legs. They are still called your legs, but we're going to specify the types of legs we have now.
You doing a Pepsi commercial?
I might be.
You doing a Pepsi?
Okay, so in order for us to determine what the other sides are actually called, we have what we call a reference angle. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to make this your reference angle. Okay, so when they use your reference angle, it may have a number in it that tells you what the degree of the angle is. You may see a question mark, which means you need to find the degree of that angle. You may see X, which again means you need to find the degree of that angle. Or you may see this symbol. This is theta. This is a Greek symbol. Okay, most of you usually don't see it unless you're talking sororities or fraternities at a college. Yes. But this is called theta. Okay, so again, they might actually give you a number instead of solving for it. They may also put an X there. They could put a question mark there. Okay. But whatever mark is there, that means that that's your reference angle, and that's how you label your sides. So we've got two legs. One of them is the adjacent leg, and the other one is the opposite leg. Okay? So your adjacent leg, according to your reference angle, this would be your adjacent leg. Why do you think that one's your adjacent leg? What does the word adjacent mean?
At an angle, diagonal, something like that.
Next to.
Next to. Adjacent means next to. So it is right next to your reference angle. Okay. Bless you. We also have your opposite leg. Okay, this is the leg that does not touch the angle. Bless you. Okay, this does not touch the angle. So, in other words, if I take my finger and I cover up this angle, the side that doesn't touch my finger is your opposite side at all times. Okay, so if I cover up whatever angle we're using, whether it actually be a number or an angle we need to solve for, the side that does not touch it is called the opposite leg. Okay, that's where the O, H, and A come from in SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Are you allergic to math class today?
I am.
Yes.
This is why I use
I'm late to school.
Right, preach.
That's why I'm sick every day.
This is
That's
why
the
I
past
use
right
it.
there.
Okay, notice the triangle that you glued in at the bottom. Okay. The triangle that you have at the bottom is also a right triangle. Okay? Your hypotenuse will never change. It is still the one that is directly across from the right angle. So this is still my hypotenuse. Okay, but watch what I do. Now I'm going to make this my reference angle. Okay, so I've changed where your reference angle is. It's now at that top one. So what do I label this side as now if this is my reference angle? This is now your adjacent leg. Okay, so depending on where your reference angle is, that will change where your adjacent is versus where your opposite is. So now the bottom is your opposite leg. Again, it's one of those, if I cover up this reference angle, the side that does not touch where my finger's at is always your opposite side. So if you're ever questioning it, cover up your reference angle. What side does your finger not touch? Questions? Okay, the next page we need to do is the one that says Chief Sokotoa. Okay, we're going to take a look at this one next.
Does that say this going on 126?
Yes, sir. This will glue in on 126.
So don't cut that out of this.
You can trim it if you would like.
Can we cut out the chief?
Do we need this chief? So
I got receipts.
No.
okay.
I took allergy medicine. Just to let you know, like, I don't know if we're allowed to have medicine in school.
You can have medicine. It's just that you're not allowed. I need some. How you got one? Miss Smith, why you texting in the middle of class? Check your phone.
I'm not, so you want to stop talking or you can sit in the hallway.
Okay. Right. Smooth.
There is.
She only affected herself. She said, oh,
Swanky, swanky.
Damn.
Swaggy, swaggy.
Short arms. Oh yeah, I forgot. Public.
You're ugly. No,
Okay.
her name sounds just like that. You're ugly.
What does your name sound
We
like?
all believe Christian. You don't sound like stupid. I'm drunk. It's okay.
Tuna steak.
Oh snap.
What's all that you wrote?
I don't know.
You said almost.
We not literally.
You told me to write
You put your name on it though.
We literally do.
And then you said,
No, that's not.
No.
I gotta push hard. I mean, more we should spend out. Is this the last?
Really? That's domestic abuse.
This minute. Is this the last?
Can't be the one. You can't be the next one there. Snitch out.
Oh,
You already made this much time, but not letting me go back and do test corrections on a test that we go 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Boom. Boom. No. What?
Okay, so
The hell?
there's a little story that goes along with why we use SOHCAHTOA.
I thought you were.
It's called Hansel and Gretel.
It's not. Okay, this story is based on the name of a great North American Indian who became famous for his wonderful problem solving in geometry. In his tribe, they were renamed as adults with a name that represented either their personality or a great event in the tribe for which they were responsible. The young man that we are speaking about was very smart as a boy, but had a very short temper. When things did not go as he planned, he would begin to carry on, throwing, kicking, and swearing, a general temper tantrum. One day in math class, he grew frustrated with the proof that he went into one of his famous temper tantrums and kicked a huge rock. In kicking the rock, he ended up breaking his big toe. As soon as he broke his toe, he realized how silly his temper tantrums were, and he vowed never to throw a fit again. He became very patient and always used reason to work out his problems. He became an excellent mathematician. Even the problems that the chief had were sent to him to solve. When he became an adult, the tribe thought long and hard about a name that would reflect his great mathematical ability. But one wise old woman rose up to suggest that they name him for the event that changed him and made him a better man. To symbolize the dramatic moment in his youth, they named him for a regular event that would continue throughout his life. The constant pain in his foot caused the Native American to spend lots of time at the river, cooling the pain of his forever mangled foot in the river waters. So they named him SOHCAHTOA.
Hey, that's my great.
Okay.
Great.
In the word SOHCAHTOA, each letter stands for something. You have 3 trigonometric functions. Okay. The first one is sine. Okay. So this goes with SOH. S-O-H. That stands for the sine of the angle equals your opposite leg divided by your hypotenuse. Okay, so if you were given opposite and hypotenuse, you would use sine to solve for your problem. The second word is CAH. C-A-H.
I see it too.
Okay.
Adjacent.
That stands for cosine, which is COS for short, equals your adjacent leg over your hypotenuse. And your last one, TOA, stands for the tangent, equals your opposite leg over your adjacent leg. Okay. The spelling of this is very important. If you do not spell it correctly, when you go to plug it in, it will be wrong. So you must remember it is SOHCAHTOA. Okay, that's going to be very important. So if you take a look at my triangle, okay, they want us to do this if my reference angle is angle A and if my reference angle is angle B. So angle A is down here in this corner. Okay. The sine of angle A is your opposite leg over your hypotenuse. Okay. So we've got 3 legs. This is your hypotenuse. This is your opposite. This is your adjacent. So if I'm trying to find the sine of angle A, I would take leg A, because that's my opposite leg, and I would divide it by leg C, because that is my hypotenuse. When we actually go to solve, there's going to be numbers there. Okay, so it's not going to be A divided by C. It's going to be like 10 divided by 22. If you look at the next one, it says sine of B. Okay, so now they want us to use B as my reference angle. Okay, if the sine is your opposite leg, which one is opposite now that we're looking at angle B? What's my opposite side? Is it A, B, or C? Which one's opposite of B? B. Okay. B is opposite. So now if I'm trying to find the sign of B, I would do B over C instead of A.
I thought letters were like just randomly, and I know they won't.
Okay?
Alright.
If I'm trying to find the cosine, I need to do the adjacent leg over the hypotenuse. So now we're going back to angle A. Which side is adjacent according to A? B. And what's my hypotenuse? C. They switch it up in the second one. I'm doing cosine of B. So I'm up here now. Which side is adjacent? A is now adjacent. And C is still my hypotenuse. Okay. So the only ones that are going to switch up is what side is adjacent and which side is opposite. Your hypotenuse will never change. Okay. When we go down and look at TOA, the tangent is your opposite over your adjacent. So again, it wants me to do the tangent of A. So I'm looking at this angle. Which one is opposite? A. Which one is adjacent? B. Opposite, adjacent, across from, side by side. B. I'm looking at B now. So opposite is now what? B. Adjacent is now what? A. Your C is your hypotenuse. It will never change. Okay, tangent is opposite and adjacent. Okay, so when you're labeling these and trying to figure out what you're using, you need to pay attention to what angle am I looking at? Okay, which angle am I looking at? Question. Okay, this goes in on page 126. Okay, the last thing I need you to cut out today is this piece. You are cutting around the dark, bold lines of each one. So you will have a sine pocket, a cosine pocket, and a tangent pocket.
Shut up, boy.
And this is gonna go on 127.
Shocker.
Like, oh my God.
Wait, Jawan's supposed to be listening to music.
Are you switching?
I
You
just
get a lot
kidding.
of those. They don't see.
My boy ain't listening to no music.
Well, he like you put the Cavaliers.
Can you tell him, Crystal? Yeah. Tell him we dropped LeBron off.
Okay, so each one of your pieces is going to look like this when you cut it out. Salts.
Where he go?
I'm in Drake.
They sponsor my life.
And LeBron.
They give me everything. They give you sweatpants. Like when you go to school, like they give you sweatpants.
What?
They give
That's
you
possible.
bags.
You didn't know that?
So it's not possible.
Yeah.
Create one of
Yeah,
you.
you ain't got no scissors.
You cannot have three miles.
Because this Asian guy has three bags.
It comes out, there's no pop. And it's actually warm.
It can
Yeah.
Like you can wash your
Yeah,
hands.
that's
It's warm.
what I'm trying.
What do you want me to do? I had 30 pairs of scissors. I'm missing
I think
10.
the other dude.
Here, Dave.
If people would stop putting stuff in their book bags and walking off with my stuff, I'd have enough for everybody.
Yeah,
Deja.
whoever's stealing these school scissors, y'all.
I'm not saying people are stealing them on purpose. I'm saying people are putting them in their book bag and walking out, not
This
realizing
school
they have them.
cheap as it is, y'all need to be sure for broke soon.
Yeah, I'm transferring.
And these are not the school scissors. These are mine. I personally bought them off of Amazon because I didn't have any.
For how much did Amazon sell these to you? Did they sell them to you in a set?
Yeah, I got a set of 15. I got 2 sets of 15.
Okay, that's what I'm about to say. If you
So
go
you had 30
visuals,
I had 30 scissors.
you got for $20.
Probably less than 20 now.
We have more than 20
She
kids.
finna roast, I feel it.
I've got like 25 kids now. So again, if you accidentally put my scissors in your book bag one day, please just put them back. I really don't care. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you stole them.
That's the only reason why, unless they literally forgot that they have.
Listen, normally, sometimes if we work to the bell, they just shove everything in their book bag and run. I've had people shove my
I've done that
calculators in,
before.
and then they've come back for a period. I'm so sorry. Again, as long as they come back, like, I'm not stressed. But I'm not buying new scissors.
I forgot what shape was this.
So you're not gonna buy them next year?
Was it a chocolate?
What I'm gonna probably have to do is buy them next year and put them in the slots with the calculators and number them all. That way, when they disappear, I'm coming after the person that had them.
That's smart.
Like, I don't know what else to do to keep track of them and make sure they're all there at the end of the period.
Why don't you pass out the trash?
Thank you. I was wondering. Thank you.
Because I never remember, to be honest with you.
Everybody else got an exam answer today. Yeah, late. But yeah, real cheese. He's talking. Where you from?
You came out there, you said.
In Lexington, when you from?
We gotta put it in Pacific Motors?
No. Okay,
I ain't never been in now. How much do they cost?
guys. I don't care which way you do this. According to the directions, you are supposed to fold along the dotted line, glue on those little tabs, and put them in your notebook. If you want to leave them open and just glue along the little sides and glue them in, it does not matter to me. Okay, but these are gonna glue in on page 127, and then we are going to, I'm gonna give you pieces that you need to sort into the specific folders.
Wait, can somebody fold them for me?
I prefer